Apart from preparing for the continuous stress, existential crises, mountains of homework, studying for tests, and the everlasting burden of adulthood that we're about to be plunged into, this is how I'm preparing for the new school year. Now, my system this year is a bit the same as last year, except just kind of more evolved. Last year I used this binder. It's pretty smexy, as you can see, with these lovely homemade stickers. It's a pretty big binder. All of the products I'll be showing today will be presented kind of like in this section of the screen with the product and the price in Australian dollars because I'm Australian. This is a pretty fat binder. I have all of my subjects in here. So when we go in, we have lovely aesthetic fandom themed subject covers. You'll see how they've evolved for next year. And in here I basically just use it to put all of my notes because I'm just that extra. But that's old school. Nowadays we use this. My new one. As you can see, we just got this name thing and it's clear so you can see my math thing here. As you can see, they're memes because I've evolved. No more aesthetic in this house, baby. So it's pretty the same thing. We've got fonts to pre-plug. There's nothing in it, of course, because the school year hasn't started yet. We got more memes for each subject, and as you can see, the brain has evolved into something amazing. And that's pretty much it. Whoa, is that it? No, it's not. Last 2 years I used this. I originally had this book, right? Look at that. It's amazing. It's beautiful. And I planned to use it just to do a bunch of questions like homework so I wouldn't make all my normal notes all ugly and gross. So I was supposed to use it for science and maths, but I ended up only using it for maths. Just maths alone. Just lovely, lovely maths. Because we didn't do any science questions, so rip to that. So then halfway through the year I was like, you know what, this is getting annoying because my chemistry homework was just not having a good time. So I got this lovely book to put all of my chemistry stuff in, but you know, since it was in the middle of the year, it was pretty impulse, so it doesn't match anything. It's not aesthetic, it's gross, but now I haven't finished it. So I've got a bunch of empty pages. I have to kind of keep using both of these books until I finish them, which is unfortunate because that means I can't have matching question books. So next year I'm picking up 2 subjects, physics and biology. So we got these ones for my question book. See how they match? Although I don't think I'm doing any questions for bio, so this one's probably just going to stay empty. And it'd be great if all of these match with my math and chemistry ones, but I can't. It's just, but it's fine. So we have these guys for the new year. Now, unfortunately, last year I used to have these pocket things when I went to Muji to get this binder and all the stuff. Their pocket stuff were out of stock, so I had nothing to put stuff in. And conveniently and beautifully, I found this bad boy in a discount bin at Officeworks. It's beautiful because it's got 5 pocket things to put stuff in, and I have 5 subjects, so it's perfect. And we have this pocket at the front, and it's just beautiful. And the perfect thing is, I can just slap these bad boys in here. Now, back in the olden days, as in this year, current year, I used to just kind of put this kind of note paper stuff into an archive system when I finished with like the subjects or the topic, and I just kind of put it in there and kind of like replace the papers in here so this thing didn't get too fat. So I will show you the archive system now. So, these bad boys, there's a lot of them, they're not all on the screen. I'll just take them out for a sec. Basically, back in the old days, I used to just have this thin boy, this one right here, and 2 of these guys. Originally, chemistry was in here, and this one was just psychology, but now it's changed. These 2 guys are now the subjects that I am no longer doing this year, except for English. Next up, we have my boy, chemistry. This guy gets a fat binder this year because I take a lot of notes. This is what I've got for the year's worth, so, you know, it's been pretty fat by the time I'm done with them. Next up we have math, biology, a new subject, and physics, a new subject. So these guys are empty, except wait, no, this guy is pretty fat. That's because I have a bunch of the spare paper in here that I literally won't really use ever, but it's nice to know I have it. Now my pencil case. So basically, I used to have a pencil case tour that I filmed a whole year ago. That's right. Anyways, this is my updated pencil case tour because this is what I'm using this year. This is a lovely first pocket we have all of our lovely everyday pens. First up, we have my gel pen, which is the main pen I use to take notes. That's just how this one works. Then we have this bad boy. It's just a mechanical pencil. You know how that works. There's a lovely fine line red thing because I was just extra back in the day. We have a lovely 0.5 Muji pen that I have. I have to click on ones, but I've still got to get refills, so I just have this dude just for fine lining. Then we have this guy, felt tip pen, you know, just the vibes. Just a red pen for marking all those horrible errors you make your homework. 2 boring pencils in case someone wants to borrow a pencil and I just can't be bothered to give them my fancy mechanical pencils. A fancy eraser because I just like to be extra. An erasable ballpoint Muji pen. I don't like ballpoints, but I just have this for homework so I can erase things. I don't know, this one's new. A real funky brush tip pen, it's just real smexy. And a white gel pen because for some reason I have that in here, even though it's for my drawing and I don't use it for school. Now, in the second pocket is all of my fancy markers. First up though, we have our eraser. This is not an eraser. Next up, we have our sharpener. Even though I don't really use pencils, but oh well. So first up, we have these highlighters, they're the pastel colours. I just have the 4-pack, they're pretty fancy. Then we have these bad boys. They just complement the highlighter scheme. Then we have these very fancy coloured pens, ballpoint. They're like the only ballpoint pens I can really use if I have to use them, even though they're still not my first preference, but they're cheap, so oh well. Next up, we just have these random pens. So this guy's just a Faber-Castell. I don't even know at this point, it's really old. I got it in year 5. Then just connect the pens because why not? I just want to add that these guys colour coordinate beautifully. Just check this out. I mean, look how smexy that is. Come on guys. Now last but not least, our last pen section. First up we have the good old scissors to cut away all of our existential fears, but you know, we have whiteout to hide all our mistakes. I actually use this more than an eraser. Spare pencil lead for that mechanical pencil I spoke of earlier. Funky USB. Earbuds because apparently we use those even though I never have really, and we just got a bunch of pink on there for some reason. And a ruler because I don't even know. And this is the only remains I have of my sticky note pad, but I have sticky notes in this, I promise. And that's it guys, thanks for watching. I don't even know. Subscribe, do that funky jazz. Enjoy.